Shalom, shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of that body. And shalom to the 144,001 May peace and blessings be upon your households. And a spirit of endurance. Shalom. Once again, I want to emphasize the importance of subscribing to our elders and prophets channels if you are sincere. Okay, now if you're looking for the truth and you are sincere about this, Romans 8:16, the Spirit beareth witness, and you're not playing around, okay, the Lord is guiding you. Go to Great Millstone, or if there's a camp that's pushing the same doctrine of the Spirit power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, that's nice too. Go in that direction if it's the Lord's will. But for you Jakes out there, it's the men of the Lord are men of Great Millstone. And in the spirit power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and also you heathens, right? If you want to know your outcome on what time it is with you, and what's going to happen to you as of now, subscribe also, because you need to know what your outcome is. All right. And for you heathens, you better enjoy the last few hours you have left of your kingdom. All right, because we are seeing the demise of your world. A lot of people have still got their heads buried in the sand, because things are working out for them. Things are going so-called well for them. There's a lot of people. It's a mixed bag. A lot of people are suffering and showing it. A lot of people are suffering and hiding it. And a lot of people are getting by, and a lot of people are doing well. But these curses are coming on these heathens thick and fast. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7, right? Obviously, it's coming on the heathen. And then, definitely on the women as well, and the women of all nations, but especially the Israelite woman, no matter what package they're in. But the so-called black woman, right, the Judite woman, she's feeling it too, all right? And we've seen numerous videos on that. And I've got a couple of videos lined up. I'm trying to go into a couple of scriptures first, filtering these times through the scriptures the best that I can with a portion that the Lord has given me, and Abaratazah, I try to do a decent job if it's the Lord's will. I'm nobody special, but hey, let's give it a go, right? Hit the button, as a Bishop Manatazak would say. Anyway, Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay, the Lord has declared the end from the beginning. All right, all we have to do is go through the motions and play it out. And going through the motions and playing it out and is kind of frustrating, because it's not kind of, it is frustrating, because we're in this flesh. We know we're at the end, we're the tail end. We're not just at the end. This is not 2,000 years ago, right, where the Lord is saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And it is at hand, because to the Lord, 1,000 years is 1 day, right? To Yahweh Bashem Yashai. But for us Israelites in this flesh, boy, playing out incarnation after incarnation, when you think about it, it's like, damn, that's a whew, talk about jumping over hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, all these incarnations, and getting to this point right now. And just imagining all those incarnations and remembering it, what you went through. I guess we'll find out in the kingdom. No, I guess we will find out in the kingdom, right? Lord willing. But we're at the tail end now, right? And Barakati Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai for that. Right? We're going home soon, all right? So we're seeing the demise of this world in real time. I've got a couple of scriptures lined up for that. We just got to go through these motions. That's all it, bruv. We just got to go through these motions. Go through each day, go through each, hour and day and second and all that, just to get to that point. Our elders have made videos of the Lord's ship returning. Obviously, there's numerous ships of all different sizes. A ship, a chariot, or a so-called UFO could be the size of a speck of a dust, right? Or even smaller, right? Floating around in a room like an orb. Or it could be the size of the earth, or it could be it could be thousands and thousands uh, thousands of times bigger than the sun. And the sun, you can fit the Earth, I believe, into it. Let me see how many times you can fit the Earth into the sun. How many times can you fit the Earth into the sun? You could you could fit approximately 1.3 million Earths into the sun. And when the chariot went past the sun looked like a pebble, looked like a stone. You know, something you would, as a child, grab and you're near a river or something or a lake, and you chuck the stone in when you're like 8, 9 years old playing around. That chariot made the Earth look. No, sorry, yeah, that no, sorry. That chariot made the sun look like a pebble. All right, because that's going to be when the Lord returns, when Jake is beamed up, that's going to be like our kingdom of heaven, which, you know, the chariots are the kingdom of heaven, of course, but it's going to be our kingdom until the kingdom is built up on earth and other planets and the universe. You understand? So it's all part and parcel of it. Because once the Lord returns, the kingdom of heaven is here. And the Lord is around the corner. These crackers are shaking in their boots. It changed from the Department of Defense to is it the War Department? You know, a war means evil times. So evil times are coming. All right? Let's see. Ecclesiastes. I'm going to play a video. I'm just going to read the scripture first. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3 onwards. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. You know, all your hopes are diminished, all your hopes are taken away. Everything looks bleak to you. Okay, 144. Everything looks weak, everything looks bleak, everything looks destroyed, everything looks grey, everything looks like it doesn't have any life in it anymore. Okay? Even when you watch these damn new movies made in 2025, doesn't it look bleak? Doesn't it look like there's no life or soul in it? And you watch a movie from the 80s and it looks all bright and chirpy and life, you know, like there's energy in the video. There's like energy in the movie. Do you remember that? You know, those of you that are old enough to remember old school movies comparing them to the bullshit made now, right? Everything is bleak, right? There's no optimism anymore. And Jake, you know, it also tells you that the Bible is written by Jake for Jake. You know, the words slang, the words in there, grinders. Don't Jake say, I'm gonna go on my grind, yo. I've been grinding today. I've been grafting today. You know, these are all Jake words, Jake slang, right? And the grinding is ceasing. All right. There's no jobs out there no more. Nike, Google, all these major brands and names and platforms are closing down, shutting shop. AT&T, you know, laying off all the large companies, especially in Jake dominated areas, because a lot of these jobs like call centers and customer service, who does it? Jake. A whole bunch of blacks and Hispanics, Northern and Southern Kingdom, right? And it's affecting everyone as a whole, right? Especially Esau, but Jake is feeling it too. Okay. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. No jobs. Okay, and we know how terrible the music is right now. Those of you that have an ear for music, those of you that can compare and contrast music from even 30 years ago compared to music right now, all right, no matter what genre you listen to, it's pretty much all Jake created anyway. Okay, even that garbage heavy metal shit, right? That's just spurned from rock and roll. Obviously, Esau has his demonic vibes in that, like he does everything else. But that heavy metal shit, unless Jake does it, it's not done correctly, right? And the music is terrible. Everything is finito. There's no bringing it back. There's no taking it back. You know, you can you can wear the Tims and the baggy clothes and that shit. You know, I still dress like that. There's nothing wrong with wearing clothes that you look like a man instead of the fruity shit that people wear now. But you know, wearing old school shit, dressing old school, wearing listen to old school music and all that. It's not going to bring that past back. That energy is gone. All right. But nothing wrong with old shit though, because we're old heads, and I proudly call myself an old head. You know, that's my era. You know, but you're not going to bring it back. Those times are not going to come back. Optimism is out the window. All right. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay. Now let's go to a video. I've got it lined up. Where is it? It is. Is it this one? No, that's not the one. Ah, here we are. All right, I was just typing in TikTok because I haven't subscribed to TikTok yet. Right. And obviously, you chuck it in the search engine, and this popped up. Some guy called Emmanuel Cook, who I think possibly a Jake from West Africa, his channel, and whoever he is, you know, copyright fair use. It's going to play a few play a bit of this video, and this looks there. Yeah, and this girl here is a Tamil girl, Elam. I mean, she could be Jake, right? But she's Elam. Tamil is basically the Tamil Islands. I think is off India or near India. The Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, and that, you know, there's many different nations in India alone. Everybody's not the same people. I know because my people are from the northern part. There's Jake up there. All right. I know the difference, and we don't look ethnically the same as well. All right. But yeah, but she, you know, you never know who she is, but she said that she's Tamil, and she's facing so many challenges in getting a job. She's even hiding her last name now. So, you know, so that won't even affect her application. Right. And a lot of people are going through what she's going through because AI is taking over in all responses when it comes to jobs as well. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy anymore. All right. You ask a simple question about why is the basic salary so low? They'll knock you off the list for applications. You send your resume or your CV and your curriculum vitae or curriculum vitae, or is it curriculum vitae CV? You send that in your resume. You know, your resume could be number 355 on the list, and they're going to just take out the first 50, you know, to interview. First stage, second stage, third stage, you know, and you won't be, and they don't respond. This is where we're at. So people are feeling less than nothing. So anyway, well, these heathens are less than nothing anyways, you know. Second is 6 verse 54. But anyway, let's go.
No word. There's no application status. There's nothing. Everyone received. Reacting to a new video today. So could someone tell me what I'm doing wrong? I have been applying for a minimum of 10 to 25 jobs every single day for the last 3 months, and I've been doing it consistently. I haven't even received a rejection letter. It says, thank you for applying, and then no word. There's no application status. There's nothing. My last real job, they fired me because I didn't want to take advantage of small business. I have gotten calls and stuff, and it's always, oh, you're overqualified. But then other jobs, I'm underqualified. What is it? I'm very proud to be Tamil, by the way, but on my resume, I don't put my last name anymore because it is very traditional. And I don't even want that affecting my, if people are not going to even talk to me. And then on top of that, everything is expensive. I don't even want to do much with my money. I just want to be able to take care of my dog. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry on camera. But, okay, so I have a problem with being too honest, apparently. So I've been working on it by not speaking. I don't know what else to do. Do you know how embarrassing it is to move back to your family's house at the age of 26? I thank God every single day for not having a kid. A kid would obviously be a blessing, but I couldn't imagine what other people are going through with kids. The stupid thing about this is I hate crying, and I usually don't cry, but yeah, I don't know. I just want a job. I'm not saying I don't want free money. I want to work for it. I want a real job. I want a good job. It could be minimum wage. I forgot to tell this. I was offered a job like 3 months ago, and the only reason I rejected it because it was all the way in the south. It was night shift, and I would be getting paid minimum. Or sorry, not minimum, $15.50. I literally lost my studio because I didn't want to pay 1.5 every single month. I haven't really lost hope, but I don't know, you're supposed to make connections. So if there's literally anyone who knows of a job, this is like one of my chances. So please just, I don't know. I have a good resume, I think. This is pathetic.
What's good, beautiful people? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today I want to talk about...
This is good because it's a cross-section of different types of people. And the first young lady was obviously from the States, and the man here is got a British accent. So let's go with it. Nice cross-section, of, as they say, the cousins across the pond, America and England. Now let's see what this man is saying.
The job market. The job market's a bit crazy. And do you know what? I spoke to a recruiter the other day, and essentially they were saying that a lot of public sector organizations and government organizations are still feeling the effects of COVID. It's a very real thing. Of course, we also had that thing called Brexit that happened. And so we're very much as a country still feeling the effects of all of this stuff because, again, we don't have certain processes in place, or things have become redundant since, the COVID pandemic and everything else. And of course, we have the general election, which means all government organizations and public sector organizations are pretty much on a pause. They don't want to risk making any commitments to contingent labor or resources, i.e. people, hence why it has a big effect on many different markets, even a private market, so to speak. So what does this mean? Will we have more clarity after the 4th of July? Well, I don't know if clarity is the word, but something will happen. Of course, the polls are showing Labour is likely to win.
By the way, this footage is from... well, he's talking about July, so this is like from about springtime this year. So this is what, April, May, June, July, August, September. It's about 4 or 5 months old, and obviously this is from back then. How much more now, right? So damn near 4 to 6 months later, it's only going to get worse. So I mean, this Jake seems like an intelligent brother, intelligent Jake, right? Well, he looks like a Jake, well spoken, and he's having issues finding a job. So it's getting grimy out there.
Which means a whole bunch of stuff, but it will mean it will do something for the job market again. Okay, so if you're struggling to get a job right now, it's very normal. It doesn't make it any easier, but it is very, very normal. And what I would say to you is this is the time to brush up on your skills. Make sure your skills are on point, on fleek, whatever word you use, okay? Just make sure it's A1. So this is doing vocational qualifications if you've got the savings for it. This is making sure that you're skilled up on certain different things, or you're going on Udemy or LinkedIn skills or whatever it may be. Just make sure you brush up on skills. This is also an opportunity to make sure that you volunteer, okay? Why do I say this? I say this because, again, this is all an opportunity to brush up on these skills. Really important stuff, man. So if you don't do it, then you may be missing out. The other thing I want to say is this is a great time to look at your spending habits and make changes, man, because I know I've looked at all of my expenses, operational, business focus, fund-wise. I've got bare things, bruv, because it's a hard time. It's a hard time. I know they're talking about the fact that interest rates has gone down to 2% or whatever it may be, and it's going to take time for services to catch up, etc., etc. This all has a knock-on effect on work and businesses. But the point being made is, be valuable during this time. Make sure you're clearly identifying the impact you've made in your past job experiences and everything else. And just make sure that your CV and covering letters are on point. I can't believe I'm out of breath, man. Jesus Christ. There's too many hills in this place. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Is it difficult for you to find a job or a contract or procure business? Let me know below. All right, peace.
There are no jobs in America right now. Like, they're saying that there are all these jobs. Trust me, there are no jobs. Okay? The only people getting hired for jobs are, excuse my French, migrants, aka the illegal kind, and felons, okay? Because they have to hire felons. Like, it's legally, they have to hire felons now. Also, with migrants, it's much cheaper to hire migrants for labor than it is to hire someone like myself. But I've been looking for a job. Many people that I know have been looking for a job. There is a labor shortage. They keep saying that there are all these crazy jobs in America and everybody's doing so well. Like, no. There's not a whole bunch of jobs in America. Why do you think everybody's selling feet pics and doing OnlyFans? Okay? I myself even do OF. Like, because at this point, it's like, OnlyFans?
She's doing OnlyFans as well. So a lot of women that would never think of doing that, that spoke down on girls that did OnlyFans many, many, many years ago, that had decent jobs. Now these jobs are drying up. Okay, the vintage is failing, all right, for a lot of these women, right? They're resorting to going to OnlyFans, and OnlyFans will stop at some point, and then a lot of these women will be selling themselves on the streets. Okay, if you go to most hoods, I believe in California and other parts, a lot of the women that you see on the streets selling themselves, some of them are nice-looking women. A lot of them are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. All right? Okay, I mean, other nations too. All right? Especially if you watch one of them hood vlog videos. It shows what time it is up there. And remember, this footage is from 6 months ago, so how worse is it now?
Or be homeless. Like, there's really no other option.
5 months ago. No, 6, 5. Going on 6.
Especially when you're a single parent, you're a single mom, you got priorities. And when I say single moms, like, I have a kid whose father is not in the picture, so I have to provide all of the needs for my child. And I don't have anybody to watch my kid. I mean, during the day, they go to school. Yeah, so I've been trying to look for a job during the day where I could work during the daytime, okay? Because I'm not going to just put my kid off on someone else. You know, if you're not her dad at the end of the day, I'm not going to put her off on you. I'm not going to ask my parents to watch my kid or anything like that. So my kid does go to school during the daytime. Now, when my kid isn't in school, which is from the late afternoon throughout the evening, those are the hours that they want you to work. I've been trying to find a job, and I'm telling them I'm available 7 days a week during the day. And I'm still not finding anything. They're looking for somebody who can close, who can work nights, who can be on call, who can work every weekend. And if you have kids at home, it's almost impossible for you to do that unless you have like a full-time nanny or somebody who lives with you who can take care of the kids. Now, I have an older kid, but I'm not the type of mom to push my older kid to watch my kids for me because that makes kids very resentful. And quite frankly, I resent not having a life growing up sometimes because I had to watch my younger siblings a lot. So, therefore, plus I have an older son. Like, boys are not, I don't trust boys with babysitting small children. Like, that's just irresponsible. They like to do shit and be all over the place. Excuse my language. But they like to be all over the place doing things and playing
in my head at night. And I have bills now.
Especially when you see people who are here that have many people living in their households and who can work any hours of the day and night for less than what they would pay an American citizen. And it's just like very frustrating. Like, I'm not mad at the people who own the corporations because they're just trying to get in where they fit in. I heard something that scared me. but yeah.
She heard something that scared her. Well, yeah, no man in the house. You're going to be scared. It's you and your daughter, aren't you? Right? No man in the house.
Yeah, they're just trying to get in where they fit in. You know, they're trying to save money and make the best of their opportunities. But for the people like me, for the average American citizen who didn't already have a job when this big explosion came, it's like, what are we to do? How are we to feed our families? Like, can you relate or no?
I'm so sick and tired of people saying, oh, don't do this for the money, or you shouldn't try this because you're trying to. I have bills now. My life it's going now, okay?
Let me just get that scripture. I'll quote that scripture. I said vintage failing. Let me just get that scripture, then I'll come back to the video. Vintage failing, King James Version. Isaiah 32:10. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Okay. Verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless women, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Okay. So you women that were at ease, that had everything given to you, that used to say that N words ain't SHIT. Those of you that were involved with Jake men, right? And even you women that aren't Jake women, that gave Jake a hard time, you had everything lovely, I mean, the benefits, the good job, the courts on your side, people being on your side, social workers being on your side, you know. I remember, for example, when my wife and I parted ways 20 plus years ago, right? And the social worker that was coming to check on the children, which my children are with me, they stayed with me. They did not go with her, sorry. Right? The social worker kept taking her side, even though she stepped out. And you know what I mean by stepping out, right? Would take her side all the time. And that's how it was. And that's how much it was for me. So how much, has it been even worse for Jake out there? Being put on, what do you call them? Paying these women on a month. I've got that term. What's that term called? I don't want to. What's that term called? Where men pay. What's that term? What's that term called? Where men who are fathers to children pay to their wives each month, or ex-wives each month? Child maintenance, child support. Yeah, that's the term, right? You get put on child support, and then sometimes these women, and that child could not be yours, or that happens to some Jakes. The children aren't theirs. So a lot of these women that have had everything lovely, they had the best of everything, because remember, this world called good evil and evil good. All right, they want to destroy Jake from being a nation. Psalms 83, and they destroyed the household. The man is kept out of the household. Hence the reason you have all in the last 35 to 40 years, especially in the last 30 years, this generation of youngsters, these young men that are very effeminate. All right, in their nature, in their behavior, in certain cases, in their dress code. Okay, these are the outcomes of the vintage failing. You see the vintage failing there right now. Women bitching and moaning, no man in the house, no money, crying, wanting to move abroad, but they can't because they don't have money, resorting to selling their backsides on the street. It's initially starting, like what do they call it? Like a gateway drug. People call certain things a gateway drug leading to harder drugs. Well, that's a gateway for a lot of these women. It's OnlyFans, leading to what? Prostitution. And some women are already selling them their vaginas on OnlyFans to the highest bidder, to the man they may find somewhat attractive. I don't know whether they can, I don't know, or if they just find the money attractive as well, or to a man that they find somewhat enticing, and he pays the right amount to hit it, And some of these women are getting asphyxiated by Edomite men. A lot of these Jake women that sell themselves are getting deleted by Edomite men and men of other nations, because they want to freak off with you, They want to freak off with you, enjoy you, but then they want to tell their Edomite friends and heathen friends, yeah, I've done a ninja woman, and I've got footage, and they record you, right, and show all their friends and shit. And you think because they're interested in you sexually that they want to be with you. You women have no idea how bad it's going to get for you out here. All right. Damn video going. Here we go. Let's go.
I don't want to be homeless. My whole game plan on life is just to not be homeless. It's going now, okay? I don't want to be homeless. My whole game plan on life is just to not be homeless. I don't want to be homeless. I want to have a home. I don't have to have a house, but I have to have a place to lay my head at night. And at this rate, I can't afford shit. I can't afford an apartment. That's why I still live at home. And I'm getting too grown out here. I need to be able to move and start my life. And I can't on my current salary. I'm trying to get a second job. There's no second job that works with my first job. So what do? You quit your first job to get a new job, then that job don't pay you? It's a never-ending game. Then they say go to college, get a degree. And then I see people out here with bachelor's and master's degrees. They're still broke. They're not even using their degree.
Yeah, let's go to a video on degrees.
And secure a stable, for decades, the belief was simple. Go to university, earn a degree, and secure a stable, well-paying job. This idea shaped policies, parental expectations, and the aspirations of millions of young people across the United Kingdom. But in today's reality, that promise has crumbled.
There you go.
Graduates step into the labor market only to face rejection after rejection, unpaid internships, and jobs that do not require the qualifications they worked so hard to achieve.
There you go. It's happening everywhere. All right? Go university, go college. It's all bullshit. It's all a game.
My job! Degrees. Then they say go to college, get a degree. And then I see people out here with bachelor's and master's degrees. They're still broke. They're not even using their degree. They're at my job. Why are you here? You have a bachelor's, master's degrees. What are we doing right now? So what is the answer to the equation? Where do you get money from? Where does the money come? Okay, I don't have money to be an entrepreneur and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on inventory and hope it sells. I don't have money to waste on parlays. I don't have money to put in the stock market and watch it grow. I have bills now. I don't want my car repoed. Okay, at this point, I probably won't have kids because I can't afford them. I can't afford them. I can't afford to have kids. Okay, some people want to get a rich man.
I remember one thing as well, right? Even the first, there's 3 women so far, right? One so-called East Indian woman. She could be Jake, you never know. But let's just say she's East Elam at the moment. And the latter 2 are Jake women. Now, the latter 2, the Jake women, they're somewhat attractive. So, they're going to be propositioned at some point by some man, or they're going to think to themselves, you know what, I'm nice looking, let me show my ass online. The second woman is already doing it, OnlyFans, and she's a single mother. Now, this young lady here doesn't have children, she's living with a family, all right? And she's contemplating of how to get money. Now, a woman is fickle, they forget things and move on quickly, and then they're going to hear some pep talk from some other woman, girl, do this, girl, do that, I'm making this amount of money. All you got to do is show your this, that, and the third online. No one's going to touch you, no man's going to touch you. You're just on camera. You just got to be confident in front of the camera, and the money will just flood in, and they'll be contemplating these thoughts, okay? Women that are somewhat attractive with a decent body will be contemplating these thoughts, and a lot of them will do OnlyFans, like the second lady.
I don't want the...
Maybe even the first lady will do it as well, because there's a what do you call it? You got men out there with different desires of women. Some men like older women. Some men like women that are of a certain ethnicity. Some men like women that are sort of average in the face with a nice body. Some men like women that are super attractive with a nice body. However it works to each man's taste buds when it comes to women.
Problems that come with the rich man and getting cheated on and abused and stuff. I just want to be happy. Okay, I don't want to use anybody. I don't want to have to do anything compromising to get some money. I'm trying to do it the morally correct way, but it's hard. It's
morally correct way. America wasn't meant to be moral. America is bitter, as Elder Apostle Gabar would say in the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Yeshai. America means bitter. It was birthed in a bitter way. It came up bitter, and it's going to go out bitter. All right. America is just a bitter place. A turd cake covered in chocolate and cream and icing, looking beautiful all on the inside, but inside it's hell.
Hard. I understand why people out here selling it. I understand, because trying to do things the right way
there you go. People are
is not working. Okay, I try to be a good person. I try to do a good job, be a hard worker. It ain't doing nothing for me. Then they say, "Oh, try to follow your passions." If I followed my passions, I would definitely be homeless right now. Because you know how long it takes to make money in what I want to do. My thing is not selling clothes and nothing like that.
I mean, truth be told, a lot of you women just should stay at home. Really, an Israelite woman is not supposed to leave her father's house until she's married to an Israelite man, traditionally. Okay? You women that live alone are stupid, man. All right? Any Israelite father out there, you got a daughter that's 18, 19, 20, she works, so she's at school. Tell her to stay at home. You don't need to push her outside of the house. She's only going to become a whore outside the house. All right? You got to be like Jake over here in the UK, Benjamin and Judah from Nigeria, West Africa. All right? And some Israelite foreigners too. They live together. It could be 7, 8 in a 3-bedroom house, right? And they might make a little extension in the back or make a room in the loft, in the ceiling, right? An extra bedroom, maybe an extra small bathroom. By putting in their little funds they have, they all might have a meager job each or even a decent job each, but they'll pool their income and they'll have like a little corner in the house to lay their head. It'll be clean, kept tidy. They might not have all their extra space for all their little, I want to have a little lazy boy here, a little flat screen TV on the wall, and blah, blah, blah. This is my little spot. Cool, that's nice to have. But if you don't have the funds for it, or you can still have an environment like that. It's comfortable and clean, right? And nice, but you won't have your own space because you'll have to share that space. And a lot of Jakes share that space. There might be 8 in a household, in a 3 to 4 bedroom house, 2.5 bathrooms or whatever, or 3 bathrooms, right? And it might be 3 cars in that driveway, and they're all sharing those cars, right? As and when they need it, and they all share the bills. That's how Jake got by here in the early days. Then as they stacked their money up, then they bought homes. But that was like 30, 40, 50 years ago or more, right? But nowadays, all this independent woman is bullshit, man. Even Jake men out there, right? If, our people are going to do what they're going to do. Things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. But for the ladies that are somewhat got some kind of common sense, for our Israelite women, stay at home with your fathers, okay? I don't think any father would say, baby, you got to get the hell out of the house. You're 19, 20 years old now. That would be one heartless father as an Israelite male who wants to kick his daughter out, especially if she's somewhat of a, which is hard to find, somewhat find a decent young lady that's, kept herself somewhat, what's the word? She hasn't really been passed, giving it to every man, or not, or hasn't given to any man at all, and she dresses, feminine and nice, and and she's not a whore, and it's a better deal to keep your daughter at home, But anyway,
Like, it's like, I don't know. How did you guys start your lives? Like, I know we're at a different time period where things are more expensive than it was for the older generation or whatever. But how are you still maintaining? I guess you got.
it's not more expensive. The money is weaker. Hence the reason the money's everything's getting more expensive. The money has no value. All right. For example, when a lot of Israelite men, bought their homes here in the 70s, and prior to that, you could buy a house here for about £10,000 to £14,000. Now, the same houses that were bought, say, in the 70s, which is 50 years ago, you buy them now. Some of those houses are worth £1 million or £500,000 to £1 million now. Okay, because back then the money had more value. You could do a week's shopping in the mid 70s for £1. Now a week's shopping here right now, depending on which store you go to and the size of your family, will be anything from £300 to £500 per week. All right, especially if you're a husband and wife and you've got at least 3 to 5 children and they're growing. It's going to be quite expensive. Money has no value now.
You guys already planted your seeds when you were younger, so now you're maintaining it. But like, I don't know how we're able to start our lives. Okay, there's not going to be no barbecues, cookouts, come over to my backyard, because nobody can afford a house. Okay, unless you're rich, you grew up in a rich family, generational wealth, somebody died and they give you an inheritance. You're God's favorite. Okay, you were God's favorite. Thank you. Okay, lucky you. But some of us are not. Okay, so it's like, what do you do? What is the right answer? What is the right path? Like, I'm tired of trying different things, getting different courses, and like, I'm still in the same place. Yeah, I might have had a $2 extra raise, but I still can't afford an apartment and pay my car note and pay my car insurance. I can't afford to live on my own. I can't. I literally cannot. So what do you do, Alex? What do you do?
A quick reminder, please.
Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there now. See if there's any more scriptures that I've got lined up. Oh yeah. Ezekiel 7 and 6. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. So, okay, you heard their summary. Okay, this place is done. All right, we heard from 3 individuals, right? No, sorry, 1, 2, 3 women. Yeah, 2 black. Yeah, 3 women and 1 Jake man. All right, 3 women of color. All right, and 1 man of color from a Jake perspective. All right, the first lady, I don't know. She could be Jake or she more than likely Elam, right? But she said she was Tamil. All right, but we are everywhere. But I'm just saying, 3 Jakes and 1 Elam, right? And we heard a cross section, 1 from the UK, 3 from the States, right? We've heard a cross section of, would look like to be somewhat, educated individuals, but they're still finding it hard, right? And 3 of them sounded well spoken, and they're finding it hard. So that's what Jake is going through, and we've seen what's happening with the so-called white man. All right, we've seen that his college degrees, courses. You get too many courses and too many diplomas. Oh, you're too overqualified. You're underqualified. You're overqualified. You're not getting any feedback. A lot of people that are applying for jobs are saying, a lot of companies that are advertising for jobs, they're saying, okay, graduate roles, university graduates, college graduates, this is the salary. And there was one individual that's a CEO now. He said, oh, that salary that giving now, which is £25,000 for a university graduate, okay, that was the same salary that I got when I graduated in 2001. So 25 years ago, when he started as a university grad, he was on 25K. 2001, 25K was okay if you were living at home for the first couple of years. But 25K now, with inflation and paying your own rent in London, is damn near impossible. Okay? So this is all done by design. It's all in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yashai. Okay, we are seeing the grinding cease. We are seeing the mirth stopped. And what do the ladies say? There ain't going to be no barbecues and cookouts no more. Well, yeah, no one ain't going to be none of that no more. All right? Okay? It's still going to happen here and there, of course, right? But for the most part, the way people celebrated things before for the littlest reason, that's all out the window. All right? There's no more optimism. This place is finished. All right? The end is come. Okay? And it's not going to get any better. And remember, that footage was from 5 months ago, going on 6. So how much more now? All right? So anyway, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashralah.